Do you have a brilliant startup idea but are stuck in the launching phase? Are you feeling overwhelmed by funding, marketing, or just where to start? Don't let your startup idea stay grounded. Visit our website at eapla.com to schedule a Blue Couch meeting and launch your startup journey today.
Welcome back to On The Cusp. Matt Snyder's back with me for another episode in season. And we got Greg Procell from Manpower.
Correct.
What is Manpower? But you're more than Manpower, so don't leave that out.
Oh, yeah. We do a lot more than that. I mean, I hope they change the name one day. Matter of fact, they're actually looking at changing some of the lines of business to human power. They're putting an HU in front of it.
Oh.
I always wanted it to be people power, but they didn't listen to me. So, it's a multi-billion corporation, so, they didn't take my advice.
You're doing the best you can.
Yeah, that's right. It's their fault, not mine. But yeah, we do a lot. We are in a full line employment service. We do perm placements, but we do everything from the lowest level to the highest level. I mean, we have engineers making $150, $200, $300 an hour, down to factory line workers making $12, $15 an hour.
But you're more than that.
We absolutely are.
But you also are an entrepreneur here.
I am. My wife and I own Nonnas olive oil and vinegar store.
Oh, cool, yeah.
So we've been there, we're in our 10th year, so it's been good. As a matter of fact, I won't get too deep into the story, but when my wife came to me, she had a really good job, and she came to me one day and said, you know what, I think I want to quit my job and open up an olive oil store. And I said, let me see the business plan, because I don't see it. How many people, how are you going to make a living doing that? But let me tell you, she pulled it off. If you knew my wife, she's a great entrepreneur. She's a great service person. Even through COVID, every year we've been open, we've had a larger year. We've never had a down year.
That's awesome.
But we took it a step further as well. The customer service portion of it, during COVID, people still placed their orders online. We were delivering to people's homes. So before I went to work, during the day while she was out, we delivered in the entire Arklatex area. So you'd wake up in the morning, we'd give you a text, your package was sitting on your front porch waiting for you. So, we try to do that, but that's, you have a great product, that's great. You have a great service, that's great. You have a great price, that's great. Put them together, spell success.
That's awesome.
I love that. And you did it right here in Shreveport.
Did it right here.
The whole Arklatex.
That's right.
I love the businesses. From an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I love the business where it makes total sense to one person and the only person that it really matters to, and everybody else is like, you're just gonna sell olive oil, or louder was a great one. You're just gonna sell bread and some king cake.
You're not gonna make it.
And
you're not gonna make it.
We got it. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then they just kill it.
You can't listen to it. If you're an entrepreneur, you cannot listen
that
to...
should be what makes you go.
Absolutely. It is. It is. And, we talk to people with Louder, and we talk to Gabe. We talk before they even started some of these businesses. They want to know what other small businesses are doing. I mean, it's the backbone of our community, right?
Is.
It's the backbone of our
area. That's what makes
community.
Shreveport special.
It absolutely is.
We all know each other, or we know one degree.
Or one degree of separation.
And we help each other out, right?
That's right.
Yep. We help each other out. So whatever knowledge we've gained in what we've done, we want to help other businesses succeed. I mean, whether they do something similar to us or not doesn't matter. What matters is that we build our community and build the economic foundation that we have here.
That is so
key.
unique. I've worked with some clients in Dallas and Houston and big cities from a marketing standpoint, and we buy sponsorships. And one of the biggest things these organizations will be selling is networking opportunities with other sponsors, because they need ways to meet people because they're not doing it organically.
Right.
In Shreveport, I've known Gabe before his business. He knew me before mine. We all have known each other, and we're all cheering because you're all trying to pull this thing up the hill.
You are. And you're going to go support him, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
You're going to go support any of the small business owners that that are trying to make it out
That's
there.
right.
Because you know what they're doing matters.
Absolutely.
This Shreveport area it's kind of odd. It's not really a big city. It's not really a small city. I don't know what you call it. I mean, there's something in the middle.
It's unique.
It's unique. It's a special type size.
It needs entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
And the entrepreneurs know it, so you can't go against your other entrepreneurs.
Right. No.
You got to help them because we need them.
Got to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, back in the day, if you were a 1,000-person company in Shreveport, you were a powerhouse. We don't have a lot of those left.
Right.
Okay, there aren't many. If you're a 150-person company in Shreveport, you're a big to us right now, and you're important, which really leads me to your other job, Manpower, because, you know, you're in the workforce business.
I am.
All right.
Let's talk about that. And let me tell you, I may say some things you like or don't like.
I love it.
That's okay.
That's what we do.
Let's go
Okay,
there.
so I've been doing this a long time. In my previous world, I believe it or not, I was a geologist back in the day. In the mid-'80s, the business turned. I had to find something else to do. A friend of mine that got out of the oil field told me about this industry. I said, I'll give it a shot. After 2 weeks, I went to him and said, I quit. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And he said, no, stick with it a little longer. Well, it's been 35 years now, and I'm still there. So it has worked out for me. So I kind of have my pulse on the entire Arklatex area. To the point that I'm on the Federal Reserve Board for the 7-state region here. And we meet every 6 weeks to discuss what's going on in this particular region.
Cool.
So I've been doing that for 30 years. So, you know, pretty in tune with everything. Now it's a matter of these businesses we're talking about dangling a big enough carrot to make these people want to take these jobs and take these opportunities. It's going to come down to things like benefits. Benefits are going away. If y'all know anything about the companies these days, benefits are going south. And that's hurting the employment side. I mean, people are not going to work because they see this and like, it's an hourly wage, but you know, what else do I get? I need to get something else. Or I'm making $15 an hour, but over there I can make $15.25, and they'll jump over across the street and do that over there.
Well, the days of somebody staying with you for a career are over with.
And that's correct.
They don't go, you know, when I went in, I was going for the distance.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
Oh, yeah, my
children.
dad was in the oil and gas business, a credit manager, and, you know, how many years that Rolex at the end? I mean, that was the game plan.
Exactly.
That's not
Me
gonna
too.
happen.
Yeah.
And I don't see that necessarily as a bad thing.
Yeah.
Okay?
But it's a big shift.
It is a big shift.
It's a big shift.
If you think, and I was really first introduced to this in Washington, D.C. in the software business, where my software developers came in and it was all about the benefits and where they were and where they had to work. And if I told them, I said, I don't care, you can work from home, and here's a Metro pass, I need you here 1 day a week, and oh, by the way, here, you know, here's your health benefits, and I'll put $1,000 a year towards your deferred payment. They said, I'm in. Well, they were in, and they'd give me that year, and then they'd say, well, Amazon Web Services is really working this project with this technology, and I really want to be in that space. And there was nothing I could offer them. It was about the opportunity to work in that with that technology.
Okay, so Greg, as this is changing,
Yes.
what is the effect? I mean, that's a national
It's a
shift.
national thing, correct.
What is Shreveport and our region always handles everything a little different.
Yes, and you're sitting in an area.
How is that?
You're sitting in a building that's doing something to promote what we need for the future.
Okay.
What y'all do, EAP, what EAP does here, what Julie Milam does upstairs. I work heavily with junior achievement as well. I mean, we just came from an event yesterday. It's called an Empower thing, where we had 14 high schools, 14 different schools sent kids there. We had between mentors and children, we had 600 people in the room.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we're trying to teach these people what it's going to take to be successful in the world of work. Not necessarily going to college. What's going to be, what are you going to have to do to be successful in the world of work? And we're trying to get them young. So you want to know what the shift is. We're trying to start young. Start them in high school. Do what we can as mentors, business people around the community, to try to get them to stay here and show them the opportunities, whether it's benefits or not, show them the opportunities that they have right here under their noses where they don't have to go anywhere.
Right.
And also give them the infrastructure of the people to come to if they need that help or support.
Gotcha.
It's like we're talking about supporting the small businesses of people we know, correct?
Right.
Well, we want to do the same thing with the kids. We want them to be able to come to us, not just the businesses. We want them to be able to come to us.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the big shift, or the thing that we're trying to do here locally.
Are you seeing a shift in like when I was growing up, like, you know, you go to school, you get your grades, you go to college, then you're going to get a job, and that's what your parents were telling you.
Right.
But I didn't really buy into that or do that.
Right.
And a lot of my generation didn't.
Right.
is the message to the kid changing, or is it still, you're going to go to high school, you're going to go to college?
No, the message is changing. The message is get some work skills underneath your belt. Whatever those work skills are, then use those to the best of your ability. Yes, we want as many kids as we can to go to college.
Right.
But if you can't find people to commit to a job for a year, it's hard to get children to commit to a college for 2 to 4 years.
Right.
So,
well, I don't think kids now, they know they don't have to go to college for 4 years.
I've got a bunch.
They're
I've got
looking
4
at it
high
going,
schoolers.
well, wait, if I can get 20 hours right out of high school and I can get tops and I can get graduate with a master's degree, I think their expectations are very different when they go to college.
I've got 4
today.
high schoolers,
and you're right.
And I'm hearing tons of talk about college. But no talks about career or college is an experience. College is the next fun thing in their life.
Right.
You know,
that's right.
It is not a, they'll figure that out later.
Back to the workforce. Back to the workforce part here. And it hurts me when somebody says, "Oh well, Shreveport didn't get that because we didn't have the ready workforce." And I'm like, "What? I disagree. A certain percentage of people are going to move to that $20 an hour job out of their current job. Then you're going to bring a certain percentage in, and then we're going to have to create the other percentage of that. If it's 33%, okay. I look at it like I got to try to create as many career opportunities for people in Northwest Louisiana as I can. So more of our children have an opportunity to stay here or come back.
They've got to have the job where they can make the money, where they can go.
And there are some that are coming. I mean, you're aware that, Frymaster's, expanding. You're aware that Amazon's building another facility up north in Shreveport. Meta's coming to Monroe. Now that's Monroe, but what's going to happen there? They're going to need so many people for that entire build out, everything that's happening, that people will move over there to take those jobs, which is going to give more opportunities around here. That's going to those 3 alone are going to be a boost for our economy.
Well, that's
and they're
where
all
we
going to
say
be
we're on
they're all
the
going to be
cusp.
good paying jobs.
Right.
So people will want those jobs. I mean, those are not ones you're going to have to be searching for people to find. You'll get those. What you're going to have a problem with is backfilling the jobs that a lot of people are coming out of, to go there.
Is there enough stuff for people to do in Shreveport Bossier to where we can start getting some boomerang going on to where the ones that all moved to Dallas and in Houston? Because I'm going to tell you, every time an entrepreneur comes to me and says, "Well, I got to go to Austin," I'm going to go, "Oh, you don't want to go to Austin. You can't afford Austin. All right, your dollar's going to go a lot further in Shreveport than it is if you go to Austin."
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think you can even afford to buy a house.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to be renting for a long time.
Right.
All right. So I try to show the benefit of this region, and the cost of living just doesn't get any better than here.
No, you're correct. You're correct. Now we do look at samples because in our permanent placement side of our business, we have to pull people in from all over the United States or even outside of the United States for jobs in and around this area on the high paying, high level positions. And it's one of the selling points that we use. Everywhere we look around the country, this is the lowest cost of living structure around. I mean,
and when we're recruiting,
your dollar goes a long way.
And when you match that to a culture and a living experience that is positive, it's a really great thing.
It is.
If you match that to it's really cheap to live here because it sucks and nobody wants to live here, it's not such a great thing. And I would make the argument that that's not the case.
Right.
That Gabe's restaurant and the restaurant scene in Shreveport is amazing right now. The culture is shifting in a very positive way. We're not a tiny town.
Right.
And we got to lean on that because being affordable and great is really awesome.
Right.
Being affordable and having nothing to do is a lot different in my mind.
And from your perspective, Matt, I understand. If I had to say this area needed anything, number one, like the boardwalk going down to like it is, it shouldn't be that way. There needs to be more shopping, more places for people to go with families to do a lot of different things.
And we're figuring out how to do it. Some of those big national ideas just didn't work.
Yep.
right down the street, the East Bank district, Bo and Peanut that we've been on the
Absolutely.
show
Yeah.
are crushing it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think
Absolutely.
once Chasing Aces is opened over there, it's going to.
We're gaining on them.
Yeah.
We're on the cusp.
You are.
I think that's going to change a lot on the
Yeah.
East Bank, and more people are going to
Yeah.
want to be
I
there.
want to make Greg's job easier.
Absolutely.
Me too.
I want to make when you pick
And
up
I'd
the
appreciate
phone
it.
and call somebody from another city in the country talking about a $250,000, $300,000 job.
They want to come.
I want them to want to come.
I do too. I'm the same way.
definitely.
And
I'm the
so-
same way. And we are getting there. I think Shreveport downtown needs to work on itself. You know,
Right.
needs some revitalization down there. What that's going
Well,
to
I'm
take, who
hoping
knows?
50 Cent does that. I heard he
Well,
bought a few buildings down
Yeah.
there. You know,
Last I heard, he's the largest landowner downtown now.
that's
in-
good.
individual-
There's
so-
plenty of property down there.
I mean, I know he has a lot of plans. We're just going to see what happens. But if he does what he says he's going to do, between what Bozier's doing on their side, and if he does that on the Shreveport side, those people will come. Because the city gets a bad rap. People talk about the negatives, and that needs to stop.
That needs to
It
stop.
automatically ends up number one in your search every time.
Yeah.
And that's why we started this,
That's right.
okay,
Yeah.
100 episodes ago to talk only about what's positive
Right.
and how do we work together.
Right.
Because if we're all together, it is inconceivable as to everything we could.
Yeah, and
we
everybody
could
needs to
achieve.
buy into that concept of
Yes.
everything's being good. You know, I always go with the adage: if you have a barrel of apples and you put one bad one in them, it's going to make all of them bad, right?
Right.
But if you have a barrel full of bad apples, you put one good one in it, is it going to make all of them good? No.
Right.
It's always the negative. Always the negative.
We gotta-
so
we gotta
you've got to
move
get
the
away
negative.
from that.
I
The
have
barrel
watched-
has to be full of good apples.
That's right.
Period.
And we got to snuff out the
That's,
bad apple.
and I agree. And y'all do a lot here. I know John George does a lot.
Yeah.
With trying to just talk it up. So yes, if that mindset changes, you will change all the young people that are coming up. If they all hear the negatives, do they really want to stay
That's
here?
right.
No, they
There's
don't.
very
They're
few.
very influential.
that will stay.
Or they're influenced very easily.
Right.
At
Yes.
those ages. And if they're hearing all the negatives, that's what they're going to
They're out
remember.
of here.
They're out. They're
and
gone.
the minute
Yeah.
they go to college in a college city, they're going to start hearing all the positives about
right.
that city and all
Correct.
the cities around.
Absolutely. Everybody's talking about Denver. Okay, my
Right.
daughter last night. Oh, Denver's got this. Denver's got that. And I went, well, you got that in Shreveport. You got that in Shreveport. Why you got to go? Why you want to move to Denver? All right.
Gregory Kallenberg told me this, and he says all kinds of crazy stuff, but this was a good point. I'll never forget. He said Shreveport has everything you need except a mountain and an ocean, and we can't change that.
We cannot.
And so that is correct.
Well, they're redoing Waterworld or whatever it is out there. So,
Yeah,
so that's,
That's the best we're
we'll get a
getting.
wave. We'll get a wave. How about that?
We do have a way, but all right, we're at time. This
Okay.
has
That
been
was
great.
such a
Greg,
fun
one.
Thank you so much.
You're very
This has
welcome. You're
been-
very welcome.
This has
Thank
been
you, guys.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
absolutely, absolutely.
Enjoy the podcast? We would love your feedback about today's show and who you think should be our next guest. Send us an email at info@eapla.com. Also, be sure to share the show and leave a comment on our social media post.